Here's what's making news now around Indiana, brought to you by your Indiana Pacers. Well, some big news at Purdue University this week. Pullman, Washington-based Schweitzer Engineering Laboratories will build a major power research facility in Purdue's Discovery Park District. In 2 phases, ultimately, it could mean 600 jobs. Meantime, the Purdue Research Foundation and Indianapolis-based Browning Investments have unveiled a 30-year master plan for the massive mixed-use district, which includes more than $1 billion in projects. Ohio-based United Collection Bureau is opening a new Indiana call center that could employ more than 600 workers over the next 4 years in Jeffersonville. The company says it will invest $2.4 million into improvements and equipment at a leased facility on the River Ridge Commerce Center campus. Well, in tiny Converse, Indiana, 6th-generation farmer Mark Boyer realized balancing a traditional row crop farm with being a father and husband as well as a firefighter was not really a sustainable schedule. So he looked for ways to diversify, and that's how he created Healthy Hoosier Oil, that they're cold pressed and chemical free. Mark is the owner of Boyer Farms, and he's helping 6th-generation farmer Nathan Hunt of the Hunt family farms with the process. And they're here now to talk about the process and the product and how it all got started. And gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
This is an interesting story on multiple levels. First of all, Mark, how did this really begin? How did you get into producing this oil?
Well, this was just simply an effort to add diversity to our crop rotation. Mm-hmm. We're traditional commodity crop farmers that were looking for diversity, and this, after a lot of research, this is kind of where we landed.
Yeah, well, let's talk about this oil. And as we were talking off camera, the uniqueness, you say, is really about the process. So talk about the process you make.
The uniqueness really in the oil is the cold press process, and where the oil crop is run through what's called a cold press. The oil never gets above 120 degrees when it's being extracted. It's simply the oil is squeezed out of the crop, for lack of a better term, and then it's filtered down to 1 micron, and that is finished product. Yeah. The process is very, very simple, and it's chemical free versus the traditional solvent extracted method of making vegetable oil.
Very good. And Nathan, you benefit in your farm, right, from some of the byproduct, correct?
Yes, we buy the canola and sunflower meal, and we're able to utilize those to create our hog feed, where we grow our hogs on pasture.
Well, to talk about this process and what it's become, because it's really gaining popularity. You're in Target and Kroger stores around the state, some other venues as well. But talk a little bit about the growth.
For us, the Indiana Growing Program's really helped us. We were getting in some local restaurants, we're getting some growth, some attention from other places that we otherwise would not have gotten without the help of the program.
And I think that's an interesting piece to this, Mark, as you talk about Indiana Growing, a real focused effort to market Indiana products. And you're saying that's been really largely responsible for what you have going on.
It's been vital in our success. I would say probably 80%, or maybe even better than 80% of our retail business for our oils is a direct result of our involvement with the Indiana Grown program and the ISDA. And
we should mention that Converse is kind of creating its own brand as a farm-to-table restaurant, a locally grown type of environment.
There's a couple different restaurants here in Converse that one exclusively uses our oil as a fry oil, and of course that's all grown in the fields right there in the same area. Also, one of the other restaurants utilizes exclusively his pork, which is fed by our byproduct. Yeah. So nothing is wasted in the process, and it all is within probably 2 square miles of the little town of Converse.
All right, as we wrap up, Mark, where does this go from here? Your demand seems to be strong and getting strong.
Well, we'll continue to grow more crop on our farm, along with in rotation with our traditional commodity crops, and we'll strive forward to expand this in the future.
All right, it's a Healthy Hoosier Oil. Mark Boyer, also Nathan Hunt. It's a great Indiana success story, and we'll be following the story. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.